let's see how the cleanup is going from Ivy. How big are those snow piles? Well, let's go out to meteorologist Mike Seidel to see how big the snow piles are in West Des Moines. Mike?
Okay, Jen, here's the big reveal, the first big snow pile of the season. And what do you think, Jen? Not too shabby for late December.
Not too shabby. Yeah, that's impressive. Look at that.
9.6 inches of snow you piled up, and this is what you get. And, you think back to Boston. Hard to believe that it was 6 years ago. They had 110 inches. And remember, they put it on that snow farm in Boston, and it went up like 70, 75 feet. The last bit of that snow did not melt until July 14th. I don't think this will be here that long, but again, if it's a cold winter, these piles will stay into March and even April. It gets kind of dirty and nasty looking, but fresh snow this morning. Take you back to yesterday. This is where and when it came down. About 8 inches of the 9.6 fell in 5 hours. We had snow increases of 2 inches an hour, 3 hours. We call them snockers because on the METAR ASOS code it's SNONICR, so it looks like snocker. So we snockered, as Cantori would say, quite a bit yesterday afternoon. 9.6 smashes the daily record, now the fourth snowiest calendar day on record in December. And look at the plows came out. I mean, so now everything's been plowed very nicely. In fact, the parking lot we're in, we can show this in the foreground, it has been plowed and salted, so we're seeing bare asphalt. But the roads out here are going to need some sunshine. Looking over here in the southeastern sky, Chris Erickson, this is what's coming up. The sun is coming up now over the horizon, and although temperatures are going to stay right where they are in the upper 20s, by the way, the wind chill up here is at least 14, if not colder, it will do its number on these roads that have been scraped. The city has got 2,200 miles of roads to clear, and it's going to take up to 24 hours, Chris Bruin. They say park on the even side of the street. The other angle of Ivy, a lot of snow, but there was some ice, and there will be more ice, we think, with the next one coming up tomorrow night into Friday.
Yeah, our past few winters in Des Moines have been kind of subpar, but this winter may be a much different story, especially with how well we're starting things off. Thanks for the update there, Mike.
All right, a record-setting blockbuster snow in Des Moines, Iowa, at 9.6 inches. That's where we find meteorologist Mike Seidel going through that hard pounding of snow yesterday. And, Mike, you had quite a snow pile just for us during your last shot. What have you got for us this time, buddy? There it is.
Well, Jim, I'm trying to ascend the always tough west-facing slope of this snow pile, and I'm trying to get up here to the top. There you go, Jim. How about that?
Don't have a heart attack, please.
No, I won't have a heart attack. Trust me, I'm in peak physical condition. So here we go.
We've
got snow everywhere.
In your breathing.
Well, you try this, buddy. You're back there in that climate-controlled studio, spending your weekends in the mountains.
There you go.
Okay, anyway, let's talk about the snow before we get off the rails here. Take a look at the snow from yesterday. It came down fast and furious. 9.6 inches. About 8 inches fell in 5 hours. And look at the video. I mean, it just pummeled us. We had 3 hours with 2 inches an hour. This is the biggest snowfall in 11 years, and now the fourth snowiest calendar day on record in December. And this is what's left. They have plowed all night. Every parking lot I can see is completely plowed. Now there's still snow and ice on some of these streets out here, but we've got the sun that will eventually help that out, although temperatures today will not get above freezing. And the other thing is the neighborhood streets. The city has said they'll get the 2,200 miles of roads plowed within 24 hours. And they want you to park on the even side of the street. So Jen Corfagno, I made it to the mountaintop.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm out of breath a little bit, but you know what? I'm almost 65 years old. I mean, come on. I'm not a kid anymore.
I know, Mike. Another time I might have asked you to slide down that and do your little whee, but not today.
You want to do it right now?
Well, if you're game, let's go.
Here we go.
Let's go. Whee!
There you you go.
Yeah.
Don't hit the car.
Kid at heart. Mike Seidel, this is such a kid at heart. He really is.
Meteorologist Mike Seidel, he was a witness to some of that snow in Iowa yesterday. He joins us live again now from West Des Moines. Mike, still king of the hill?
Well, at least for the next hour and 15 minutes, Alex. This is what happens when you plow these parking lots. And I tell you what, they were plowed yesterday afternoon all night. Once the snow backed off and ended around 5, they got caught up because it was a real mess yesterday, snowing at 1 to 2 inches an hour. So about 10 inches of snow, and you got some big piles of snow here in West Des Moines. Let me show you some of the totals from yesterday. Nor, Illinois, this is northwest of Chicago, getting almost 13 inches of snow. We also had double-digit totals in parts of Iowa. Cedar Rapids, off to our east, had 11 inches. And for us here, 9.6, a daily record. The previous daily record wasn't much to even talk about, 2 inches. But it's also the 4th snowiest day on record, calendar day in December, going back to the 1800s, and the biggest storm they've had in one day since 2009. So we're going back 11 years since they've seen this much snow. Let me show you to you visually. Take a look at the snow. It kicked in late morning, and then it just wouldn't let up. It was a very powdery snow, high fluff factor. Most of it fell with temperatures at 23 or 24 degrees, and we end up with almost 10 inches of snow. The plows, they were trying to keep up with it. Caught this convoy of plows coming off I-35. In fact, yesterday, for a while, part of I-80 was shut down, but everything's fine this morning. Those interstates are in good shape, and a lot of vehicle assist. We got this guy out of trouble in the snowbank, but it took, 4 or 5 grown men to push him out. He had front-wheel drive, but in a situation like this, all-wheel drive is the way to go. Otherwise, you risk getting stuck, and you got to slow down. A lot of spin-outs yesterday. Let's go over to Madison, Wisconsin. My man Reynolds Wolf over there, Madison and the capital. And Reynolds, I don't think you quite did 10 inches, but you had a pretty healthy snowfall there in south central Wisconsin yesterday and last night.
Absolutely, yeah. We flipped the switch late yesterday afternoon.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel. Welcome back to West Des Moines, Iowa, where we had almost 10 inches of snow yesterday. And when you plow that much in these parking lots, you end up with mountains of snow like this. And this is the kind of plow that's going to be around for a long time. Sometimes piles last. You think about Boston 6 years ago with 110 inches of snow, and they piled it in this one area in Boston. They called it a snow farm, 75 feet high. The last flakes melted on July 14th. This is not going to be around until July 14th, but gives you an idea of what kind of snowfall we had yesterday. Biggest snowstorm here in December in 11 years. So that's what we ended up with. Temperatures today will stay where they are right now, upper 20s. We're going to get we've got some sunshine, lowest sun angle of the year, so it doesn't do much, but there's enough radiation to help to melt off and dry off the little bit of snow and slush on the roads that have been cleared and salted. But the city is going to take about 24 hours, Alex, to plow all the neighborhood streets. They've got over 2,000 miles of asphalt and concrete to plow. And we've got another storm coming in here on Friday. More on that coming up. Alex?
Hey, you said it.
Ice.